Have you ever felt this problem? You understand English. You know many words. You can even read sentences. But when it comes to speaking, your mind suddenly goes blank? You try to speak, but you stop. You think too much. You feel nervous. And sometimes you even say to yourself, I think my English is not good enough. If this sounds like you, then you are not alone. Most English learners around the world face the same situation. They study English in school, they watch videos, they learn grammar rules, but still they cannot speak confidently. And the biggest reason is not that they are weak in English. The real reason is that they have no practice environment. No partner, no conversation, no one to talk to in English every day. But here is something important I want you to understand from the beginning of this video. You do not need a partner to improve your English speaking. You do not need a classroom. And you do not need to live in an English-speaking country. What you truly need is a system. A simple daily practice method that you can do alone at home. Now maybe you are thinking, how is it possible to speak English alone? How can I improve speaking if no one is listening to me? This is exactly where most learners get confused. They believe speaking only improves when someone corrects them. But in reality, fluency starts with practice, not correction. Confidence starts with repetition, not perfection. Think about this for a moment. When a child learns to speak their first language, they don't start by learning grammar rules. They don't wait for someone to correct every sentence. They simply repeat, listen, imitate, and practice daily. That is exactly how you should treat English as well. And today, in this video, I am going to show you something very powerful. I will guide you step by step on how to practice English alone at home in a very simple but extremely effective way. These are real techniques that can help you build confidence, improve fluency, and start speaking without fear. But before we go into the methods, I want to ask you something honestly. How many times have you said, I will start speaking English from tomorrow? How many times have you watched English videos but never actually practiced speaking yourself? If you are serious about changing your English, then you must stop only watching and start doing. Because watching English is not enough. Understanding English is not enough. The real transformation happens when you open your mouth and start speaking, even if you are alone, even if you make mistakes, even if it feels strange at the beginning. And yes, I know it feels uncomfortable at first. When you start speaking alone, you might feel like you are doing something wrong. You might feel shy, even though nobody is watching you. But this is completely normal. Every fluent English speaker once went through this stage. The difference is, they did not stop. So if you are ready to finally break the silence and start building real speaking confidence at home, then stay with me in this video until the end. Because what I'm going to show you is not theory. It is a practical system that you can start today, in your room, with no partner, no money, and no stress. By the end of this video, you will clearly know how to practice English alone at home in a way that actually improves your speaking ability. And if you follow it daily, you will start to feel a real difference in your confidence and fluency. So let's begin your journey from I understand English to I can speak English confidently. Before we go into techniques and daily practice methods, I want to talk about something even more important than grammar, vocabulary, or speaking exercises. And that is your mindset. Because if your mindset is wrong, even the best method in the world will not give you results. But if your mindset is correct, even simple practice at home can completely transform your English speaking ability. Let's be honest. Many English learners believe that they cannot improve alone. They think they always need a teacher, a partner, or someone to correct them. Because of this belief, they never start practicing seriously. They wait for the perfect environment that never comes. And slowly, days turn into months, and months turn into years without real progress. But here is the truth you need to accept today. English speaking is not built in a classroom. It is built in daily practice. And the most powerful learners in the world are not always those who study the most, but those who practice the most consistently. You might be surprised, but many fluent English speakers improve their speaking alone. They didn't always have someone to talk to. Instead, they created their own environment. They talked to themselves, they repeated sentences, they imitated native speakers, and they trained their mouth and brain every single day. That is the real secret. Now I want you to understand something very important. English is not just knowledge. It is a skill. And skills are not learned by reading only. Skills are developed by doing, just like driving a car. You cannot become a driver by reading a book about driving. You must sit in the car, hold the steering wheel, and practice again and again until it becomes natural. English speaking is exactly the same. You must speak to improve speaking. Even if you are alone, even if it feels strange, even if you make mistakes. And yes, I know what you might be thinking right now. But I feel shy speaking alone. Or, it feels weird talking to myself. Let me tell you something clearly. This feeling is temporary. Every learner feels this at the beginning. But those who ignore this feeling and continue practicing are the ones who become confident speakers later. The real difference between a weak English speaker and a confident English speaker is not intelligence. It is courage. Courage to speak even when nobody is there. Courage to make mistakes without fear. Courage to practice even when it feels uncomfortable. So I want you to change one important belief today. Stop thinking, I don't have anyone to practice with. Instead, start thinking, I will create my own practice environment at home. Because your room can become your classroom. Your mirror can become your speaking partner. And your phone can become your English coach. Once you shift this mindset, everything changes. You stop waiting. You stop depending on others. And you start taking control of your own learning journey. And this is exactly what makes self-learners powerful. They don't wait for permission. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They start with what they have. They practice daily. And slowly, they build real confidence step by step. So now that your mindset is becoming strong, in the next section, I will show you the exact practical methods you can use at home to improve your speaking. Simple techniques, daily routines, and powerful exercises that will make your English speaking stronger even without a partner. Stay with me, because now we are going to move from thinking to doing. Now we are going to the most important part of this video. This is where everything becomes practical. Because mindset alone is not enough. You need action. You need daily methods that you can actually do at home, even if you are alone, even if you have no partner, and even if you only have 15 to 30 minutes a day. I want you to imagine something first. Imagine you are already fluent in English. You can speak without stopping. You can express your ideas clearly. You are confident. Now ask yourself, how did you reach that level? Not by thinking, not by waiting, but by practicing the right way every single day. And that is exactly what I'm going to show you now. The first and one of the most powerful techniques is called shadowing practice. Shadowing means you listen to a native speaker and immediately repeat what they say. Not after 10 seconds, not after thinking too much, but instantly. For example, You watch a short English video and you copy the pronunciation, tone, and rhythm exactly like the speaker. At first, it will feel difficult. Your tongue will not move smoothly. But this is normal. Your brain and mouth are learning a new skill. When you do shadowing, don't worry about perfection. Just focus on copying. Even if you make mistakes, continue speaking. This is how your speaking speed and fluency improve naturally over time. The second method is mirror speaking practice. This is very simple but very powerful. Stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself in English. Look at your face, your expressions, your body language, and start speaking about anything. For example, today I am learning English. I feel a little nervous, but I'm improving. At first, you may feel awkward, but slowly you will start feeling more comfortable speaking. The mirror helps you build confidence because you are facing yourself. You are not hiding. You are practicing real speaking behavior. This is exactly how confident speakers are built. The third method is self-dialogue practice. This means you create a conversation by yourself. You ask a question and answer it. For example, "What did I do today?" And then you answer, "Today I studied English and watched a video." Then continue the conversation like a real interview. This method trains your brain to think in English instead of translating from your native language. The fourth method is record and compare practice. Take your phone and record your voice speaking in English. Then listen to it carefully. Don't judge yourself harshly. Just observe. Then try again and improve. You will notice your mistakes, your pronunciation issues, and your pauses. This is one of the fastest ways to improve speaking because you can hear your own progress. And finally, the most important habit is thinking in English. Instead of thinking in your native language and translating later, start thinking directly in English. For example, if you see a chair, think "this is a chair." If you feel hungry, think "I am hungry." This small habit slowly changes your brain into English mode. Now I want you to understand something clearly. You don't need to do all these methods perfectly on the first day. Just start with 1 or 2. Even 10 to 15 minutes of daily practice is enough if you are consistent. The key is repetition, not perfection. In the next section, I will give you a simple 7-day home practice plan so you can follow a clear routine and see real improvements step by step. Now you already know the core methods. Shadowing, mirror speaking, self-dialogue, recording, and thinking in English. But many learners make one big mistake here. They know the methods, but they don't know how to organize them into a daily routine. So in this section, I will give you a simple 7-day practice plan that you can follow at home. This is not complicated. You don't need hours of free time. Even 20 to 40 minutes daily is enough if you stay consistent. Let's start with the idea first. Improvement does not come from one big practice session. It comes from small daily actions repeated again and again. If you follow this 7-day plan seriously, you will already start noticing changes in your confidence, fluency, and speaking speed. Day 1 to 2. Mirror Speaking Foundation. On the first 2 days, your main focus is simple. Get comfortable speaking English alone. Stand in front of a mirror and start speaking basic sentences about yourself. For example, "I am learning English." "I want to speak English fluently." "Today I am practicing at home." Don't worry about mistakes. Don't stop if you feel awkward. The goal is not perfection. The goal is comfort. At this stage, you are training your brain to accept English speaking as a normal activity. Even 10 to 15 minutes is enough. Day 3 to 4. Shadowing training. Now you will move to shadowing practice. Choose a short English video or audio clip. Listen carefully and repeat immediately after the speaker. Try to copy pronunciation, speed, and tone. At first, you will feel like you cannot keep up. That is normal. Don't stop. Even if you miss words, continue speaking. Do this for 15 to 20 minutes daily. This will improve your natural flow and pronunciation faster than you expect. Day 5. Recording yourself on day 5. Take your phone and record yourself speaking in English. Talk about simple topics like your daily routine, your hobbies, your goals. Then listen to your recording. Notice where you stop, where you hesitate, and where your pronunciation is unclear. Don't criticize yourself too much. Just observe and try again. Improvement comes from awareness. Day 6. Self-conversation practice. Now you will practice real communication by yourself. Create a conversation in your mind and speak it out loud. For example, "Hi, how was your day?" "My day was good. I studied English and practiced speaking." Try to make it longer. Ask questions and answer them. This helps your brain think in English instead of translating. This is a very powerful step because it builds real speaking flexibility. Day 7. Full review plus free speaking. On the final day, combine everything you learned. Do mirror speaking, shadowing, and self-dialogue all together. Then speak freely for 5 to 10 minutes about anything you want. You can talk about your week, your progress, or your goals. This is your test day, not to check perfection, but to see improvement. Now I want you to understand something very important. This 7-day plan is not magic. But if you repeat it again and again, week after week, your English speaking will naturally become stronger and more confident. Most learners fail because they stop after a few days. But the ones who succeed are not the smartest. They are the most consistent. In the final section, I will give you motivation and a simple action plan so you can continue this journey without stopping. Now you have reached the final part of this video. And if you are still here, it means something important. You are serious about improving your English. Because most people start videos like this, but very few actually stay until the end. So, first, I want to acknowledge that you are already doing something different from average learners. Now let's quickly understand where you are right now. You are not a beginner anymore who has no idea what to do. You are not confused about methods anymore. You now know exactly how to practice English alone at home. You have shadowing. You have mirror speaking. You have self-dialogue. You have recording practice. And you also have a 7-day plan. So the question is no longer, what should I do? The real question is, will I actually do it every day? Because this is where most learners fail. Not because they don't have information, not because they are not intelligent, but because they stop after learning. They feel motivated for a few hours or a few days, and then they go back to old habits, and nothing changes. But I want you to understand something very clearly today. English speaking is not built in one day. It is built through repetition, through consistency, through daily practice, even when you don't feel like it. Some days you will feel motivated. Some days you will feel tired. Some days you will think, maybe I should skip today. But those are the exact moments where your improvement is decided. Because fluency is not built on easy days. It is built on difficult days when you still practice. Let me tell you something important. every fluent English speaker you admire today was once in your position. They also struggled. They also felt shy. They also made mistakes. The difference is, they did not stop practicing. And now I want to give you a very simple action plan. Nothing complicated, just 3 things. First, practice at least 15 to 30 minutes every day. Not 1 hour, not 3 hours, just daily consistency. Small practice every day is more powerful than long practice once a week. Second, choose one method and start today. Don't wait. Don't overthink. Just pick one, mirror speaking or shadowing, and start immediately after this video. Third, track your progress. Even a small improvement matters. For example, today I spoke 2 minutes without stopping. That is progress. Today I made fewer mistakes than yesterday. That is progress too. Now I want to speak directly to you. If you are someone who has been learning English for months or even years without speaking confidently, this is your turning point. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because knowledge without practice does not change your life. But action, even small action, can completely transform your future. Imagine yourself after 30 days of consistent practice. You will notice something different. You will think faster in English. You will speak more naturally. You will feel less fear. And most importantly, you will start believing, yes, I can speak English. And that belief is more powerful than any grammar rule. So don't treat this video as just information. Treat it as a starting point, a real beginning of your speaking journey. Now, I have one final request for you. If you are going to start practicing from today, write in the comments, "I will practice English daily." This is not just a comment. This is a promise to yourself. A small commitment that can change your consistency. And if you want more lessons like this, simple, practical, and easy English learning methods, then make sure you subscribe to Easy English Click. Because in the next video, I will show you how to start thinking in English naturally without translating in your mind. So remember this one final line. You don't need perfect English to start. But you do need to start to become perfect. Start today. Practice daily. And your English will change step by step.